blood, chaos, spears through barricades. And that's just what happened after the cameras were supposed to stop rolling. What you're about to witness is the most insane, unhinged, absolutely unbelievable moment from Madison Square Garden that left the entire WWE universe shaking. Roman Reigns didn't just return to Monday Night Raw. He returned like a man possessed, and when I tell you that even the New York Police Department couldn't stop what was about to happen, I need you to understand that this wasn't wrestling anymore. This was war. Before we dive into this absolute madness, I need you to do something for me, for yourself, for this entire wrestling family we're building here on SLAMZONE. If you love moments that make your jaw drop, if you live for that rush when something so crazy happens that you have to rewind it 3 times just to believe it's real, then hit that subscribe button right now. Seriously, we're here breaking down the most intense, emotional, and shocking moments in wrestling every single week, and I promise you don't want to miss what's coming next. Smash that notification bell because when wrestling gives us moments like this, you need to be the first to know. And if this video gets your blood pumping the way Roman Reigns got everyone's blood pumping at message, show some love with a like. Let's build this family together because what we're about to witness, what we're about to break down, this is the kind of content that reminds us why we fell in love with professional wrestling in the first place. Now, let me set the scene for you. Madison Square Garden, the most famous arena in the world. The air is electric, thick with anticipation because everyone knows something big is about to go down. We've got John Cena making his final appearance on Monday Night Raw, and the emotion in that building is already at a fever pitch. But that's just the opening act. The real story, the story that's about to explode in everyone's faces, centers around Survivor Series, War Games and 2 teams that absolutely despise each other. On one side, you've got the Vision, Braun Breaker, a machine of a human being. Bronson Reed, the man who has been on an absolute tier of destruction. Logan Paul, bringing that celebrity firepower. Drew McIntyre, the Scottish warrior who's been through hell and back. And then, the reveal that sent shockwaves through the entire wrestling world, Paul Heyman's 5th member, the man, the myth, the beast incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. When that music hit, when Lesnar walked through that curtain with that sinister smirk on his face, you could feel the entire energy of Madison Square Garden shift. This wasn't just another tag team match anymore. This was about to become something legendary, something dangerous, something completely unpredictable. On the other side, you've got CM Punk, the voice of the voiceless, the man who clawed his way back to WWE and has been fighting tooth and nail ever since. Cody Rhodes, the American Nightmare, the undisputed WWE champion who carries the legacy of his family on his shoulders. The Usos, G and Jimmy, brothers who have been through war together, who know what it means to fight as family. But there was someone missing. Someone who had been conspicuously absent since Crown Jewel in October when Bronson Reed absolutely decimated him in an Australian street fight. Someone who everyone was wondering about, whispering about, hoping would show up when it mattered most. The match is chaotic from the opening bell. Bodies are flying everywhere. Breaker is showcasing that freakish athleticism. Reed is throwing his massive weight around like a wrecking ball. McIntyre is chopping chests so hard you can hear the echo in the upper decks. Logan Paul is doing what he does best, getting under everyone's skin and then backing it up with moves that shouldn't be possible for someone who's only been in wrestling for a short time. And then there's Brock Lesnar, this absolute force of nature, this beast who moves like a predator stalking prey. Punk is in there, fighting with everything he's got. You can see it in his eyes, that fire, that determination. He's trading shots with Lesnar, and the crowd is going absolutely insane because these two have history, these two have bad blood, and every strike means something. Rhodes is in there, laying it all on the line, fighting not just for himself but for the honor of being champion, for proving that he belongs in this fight. The Usos are hitting stereo super kicks, working in perfect synchronicity the way only brothers can. But then, Lesnar starts taking over. And when Brock Lesnar takes over, it's not pretty, it's brutal, it's savage. It's exactly what you'd expect from a man who's made a career out of destroying anyone who stands in his way. He throws Punk across the ring like he weighs nothing. He German suplexes Rhodes, the WWE champion, and watches him land hard on his neck and shoulders. The tide is turning, and you can feel it. The Vision is starting to dominate. Security is trying to maintain some semblance of control, but this is professional wrestling, and control is just an illusion when emotions run this hot. The babyfaces are in trouble. Real trouble. Lesnar is standing in the center of the ring, arms spread wide, that cocky smile on his face because he knows he's got the advantage. Paul Heyman is on the outside, screaming instructions, orchestrating this symphony of destruction. The heel team is circling like sharks who smell blood in the water. This is the moment where everything could fall apart for Punk's team. This is where the story could end before War Games even happens. And then it happens. The moment that changes everything. The moment that will be replayed forever. The moment that makes Madison Square Garden absolutely erupt. That music hits. That unmistakable, iconic, earth-shattering music. The tribal chief. The OTC. The head of the table. Roman Reigns. The roof nearly comes off Madison Square Garden. People are on their feet, screaming, losing their minds because the man who has been absent, the man who everyone wondered if he'd be ready, the man who Bronson Reed tried to end at Crown Jewel, he's here. And he's not here to talk. He's not here to make peace. He's here for one reason and one reason only: retribution. Reigns hits that ring like a freight train that's been building speed for weeks. He locks eyes with Brock Lesnar, and you can see it. You can see years of history, of battles, of WrestleMania main events, of respect and hatred and everything in between. Lesnar prepares to attack. Maybe he's thinking this will be easy, maybe he's underestimating what's about to happen. Big mistake. Massive mistake. Because Roman Reigns isn't that guy anymore. He's evolved. He's angrier. He's hungrier. Superman punch. Out of nowhere, Reigns cracks Lesnar right in the jaw, and the Beast incarnate, the man who has dominated WWE for over 2 decades, goes stumbling backward. The crowd is losing their collective minds. The entire arena is shaking from the noise. This is Madison Square Garden at its finest, at its loudest, at its most passionate. And Roman Reigns is standing there, chest heaving, eyes blazing with an intensity that could melt steel. But this is where things go from chaotic to absolutely out of control. Because remember, there are 10 of the most dangerous men in professional wrestling in and around that ring right now. Bronson Reed sees his opportunity. The man who destroyed Reigns at Crown Jewel, the man who hit tsunami splash after tsunami splash on the tribal chief's body until he couldn't move, he's not about to let Reigns just walk in and be the hero. Reed charges from behind, attacking with the fury of someone who has something to prove, someone who wants to finish what he started. All hell breaks loose. And I mean all hell. Braun Breaker is brawling with GUSO on the outside. Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes are exchanging strikes that sound like gunshots. Logan Paul is trying to get involved from every angle. CM Punk is back up, and he's fighting anything that moves. Bodies are everywhere. Fists are flying. The announce table is in danger. The barricades are getting tested. This isn't a wrestling match anymore. This is a Pier 6 brawl. This is every man for himself. This is chaos in its purest form. WWE security rushes the ring. You've got men in yellow shirts trying desperately to separate these warriors, trying to restore some kind of order to this madness. But here's the thing about trying to break up a fight between the biggest stars in professional wrestling when emotions are running this high, it's impossible. These security guards might as well be trying to stop a tornado with their bare hands. They're getting thrown aside. They're getting knocked down. They're completely and utterly ineffective. And then, because apparently things weren't crazy enough, because apparently this situation needed to escalate even further, the New York Police Department gets involved. Real police officers. NYPD. They come down to ringside because at this point, someone backstage must have made the call that this has gone too far, that this needs professional intervention, that trained law enforcement needs to step in and restore order to Madison Square Garden. You can see them trying to create a barrier between Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. These two men want to tear each other apart. There's too much history, too much bad blood, too much unfinished business from Crown Jewel. The officers are literally putting their bodies between these two behemoths, trying to use their authority, trying to use their presence to calm the situation down. The crowd is on the edge of their seats because no one knows what's going to happen next. Is this how Raw ends? With police intervention? With everyone being separated? With this incredible tension just fading away? And then Roman Reigns makes a decision that will go down in history. A decision that shows exactly who he is and what he's about. He sees Bronson Reed across the human barricade of police officers and security. He sees the man who tried to end his career. He sees his target. And the tribal chief doesn't care about authority. He doesn't care about consequences. He doesn't care about anything except getting his hands on Bronson Reed. Reigns backs up. You can see him calculating. You can see him measuring the distance. The entire arena seems to hold its breath because everyone who knows Roman Reigns, everyone who has watched his career, they know what's coming. That look in his eyes. That coil in his body. That predatory stance. He's loading up for the most devastating move in his arsenal. The spear. The spear that has ended championships. The spear that has closed WrestleMania main events. The spear that has put legends on the shelf. But this isn't just any spear. This is a spear fueled by weeks of recovery. Fueled by the memory of being destroyed at Crown Jewel. Fueled by rage and vengeance and the need to prove that Roman Reigns is still the tribal chief, is still the OTC, is still the most dominant force in all of professional wrestling. He charges. Full speed. Maximum velocity. And I need you to understand the visual here. Bronson Reed is standing there. Police officers are in front of him, trying to maintain that barrier. And Roman Reigns doesn't slow down. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't recalculate. He spears Bronson Reed with such force, with such impact, with such devastating power that he doesn't just take Reed down. He takes Reed and 2 NYPD police officers through the barricade. Through it. Not over it. Not around it. Through it. The sound is sickening. The crash is thunderous. Bodies fly in every direction. The barricade explodes into pieces. Bronson Reed is laid out, possibly unconscious. The police officers are down. Security is in shock. The other wrestlers stop fighting just to process what they just witnessed. And Roman Reigns? He's on his knees in the wreckage, breathing hard, possibly favoring his arm a bit, but you can see it in his face. Satisfaction. Justice. Retribution. Madison Square Garden is beyond loud at this point. The noise is deafening. People are screaming, jumping, holding their heads in disbelief. This is the kind of moment that reminds you why we watch wrestling. This is the kind of moment that gets replayed forever. This is the kind of moment that defines careers and builds legends. And it happened right there, off the air, in the chaos after Raw was supposed to be over. The cameramen are scrambling to capture every angle. Replays are already being prepped. Social media is about to explode. And in the center of all of it, Roman Reigns slowly rises to his feet, looking down at the carnage he just created. The man who attacked him at Crown Jewel is laid out. The authority figures who tried to stop him are down. And the tribal chief has sent a message that echoes not just through Madison Square Garden, but through the entire WWE universe. I'm back, I'm angry, and War Games is going to be a bloodbath. Now listen, if you're still watching this, if your heart is still racing from what we just broke down together, I need you to do something for me right now. Hit that like button. Seriously, smash it. Because we're building something special here on SLAMZONE. We're creating a space where wrestling fans can come together and relive these incredible, emotional, jaw-dropping moments. Subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Join this family. And drop a comment below telling me what you thought of this moment. Are you Team Roman? Do you think he went too far? What's going to happen at War Games? I want to hear from you because that's what makes this community special. We're not just watching wrestling together. We're experiencing it together. We're feeling it together. The aftermath of this spear heard round the world is something else entirely. As the heel team is being escorted backstage, as Bronson Reed is being checked on by medical personnel, as those NYPD officers are probably reconsidering their career choices, something else is happening in that ring. Something that adds even more layers to this already complex story. Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, the Usos, and Roman Reigns are left standing in the ring. And the tension is palpable. Because here's the thing that makes this story so compelling, so layered, so absolutely fascinating. These 4 men, these 5 men if you count both Usos, they're on the same team for War Games. They have to work together. They have to trust each other. But trust doesn't come easy when you've got this much history between them. Roman Reigns and CM Punk lock eyes. And if you know the story, if you've been following along, you know that these two have one of the most complicated relationships in recent WWE history. They main event this year's WrestleMania against each other. Paul Heyman, Reigns' longtime advocate, betrayed him to help Punk. There's resentment there. There's mistrust. There's a whole mess of emotions bubbling under the surface. The crowd is silent now, watching, waiting to see what happens. Is this where the team implodes before War Games even happens? Is this where egos take over and destroy any chance they have of winning? Punk says something to Reigns. The cameras can't quite pick it up, but you can read his lips, you can see the intensity in his expression. He's warning Reigns. He's making it clear that if there's any backstabbing, if there's any betrayal, then Punk will make Reigns an enemy. And Roman Reigns, never one to back down, never one to show weakness, responds in kind. His words are caught on fan footage, picked up by cameras after the show. I don't stab in the back. I don't have to. I'll look you in the eyes and put that knife in your heart. Cold, brutal, honest. That's the tribal chief. That's who he is. He doesn't hide his intentions. He doesn't play games. If he's going to betray you, you'll see it coming. And somehow, in that moment, that honesty creates a strange kind of respect. A strange kind of understanding. Cody Rhodes is standing there, the undisputed WWE champion, watching this exchange with the weight of leadership on his shoulders. The Usos are tense, ready to step in if things go sideways. But they don't. The confrontation de-escalates. The team remains intact. For now. But you can feel it. You can sense it. The cracks are there. The potential for this all to fall apart is real. And that's what makes Survivor Series, War Games so dangerous. These 5 men have to trust each other while knowing that any one of them could be the weak link, the betrayer, the one who costs them everything. There's also the matter of Roman Reigns' physical condition. Sharp-eyed fans noticed that throughout this entire segment, Reigns was wearing a compression sleeve on his right arm. He's been away from WWE since October filming a Street Fighter movie, recovering from that brutal match with Bronson Reed. During the chaos, after that spear through the barricade, cameras caught him briefly clutching his arm, adjusting the sleeve, showing signs that maybe, just maybe, the tribal chief isn't 100%. Is he injured? Is the sleeve just protective padding? Is this something that could affect his performance at War Games? The speculation is already running wild. Some fans are saying it's just a precaution. Others are worried that Reigns might be dealing with arthritis, a known side effect of the chemotherapy medication he had to take during his real-life battle with leukemia years ago. Whatever the truth is, one thing is certain: Roman Reigns showed up to Madison Square Garden knowing he might not be at full strength, and he still put his body on the line. He still speared through 2 police officers and Bronson Reed. He still sent a message. That's dedication. That's toughness. That's what being the tribal chief means. And let's talk about what happened with the rest of the guys after the cameras cut away. Because this story keeps getting wilder. Fan footage shows Cody Rhodes, the man who's supposed to be the clean-cut babyface champion, absolutely wailing on NYPD officers with a kendo stick. Not just one shot. Multiple shots. 3, 4, 5 times. The American Nightmare was out there treating those officers like they were members of the Vision, like they were standing between him and justice. It's wild. It's chaotic. It's the kind of thing that makes you question who the real good guys are in this story. GUSO, on the other hand, showed a different side. When Brock Lesnar's music hit during the off-air chaos, when that ominous sound echoed through Madison Square Garden, G did something that's going to have consequences. He retreated. He backed up. He hid behind a giant Prime bottle while everyone else stood their ground. Now, is that smart? Maybe. Brock Lesnar is a legitimate threat. He's not someone you want to fight unnecessarily. But in the world of professional wrestling, perception matters. And the perception is that GUSO showed fear. He showed hesitation. And in a team that's already dealing with trust issues, that kind of moment plants seeds. Seeds of doubt. Seeds of betrayal. Seeds of a potential heel turn that could shake War Games to its core. This entire segment, from Roman's return to the spear through the barricade to the tense standoff with CM Punk to the off-air chaos, it all serves one purpose. It builds anticipation. It creates questions. It makes Survivor Series, War Games feel like the most important event of the year. Who's going to betray who? Can this team actually work together? What's going to happen when Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar inevitably collide inside those two rings surrounded by steel? What about Bronson Reed's revenge? What role will CM Punk play? Can Cody Rhodes lead this team to victory while maintaining his own championship obligations? The beauty of this storyline is that there are no easy answers. Every character has legitimate motivations. Every conflict feels earned. The history between these men spans years, decades even. This isn't thrown together for the sake of drama. This is organic storytelling at its finest. This is WWE doing what WWE does best when they're firing on all cylinders. They're making us care. They're making us invest. They're making us count down the days until War Games because we need to see how this plays out. And let's appreciate Roman Reigns for a moment. The man has been at the top of WWE for years. He's carried the company through pandemic shows with no crowds. He's had legendary title reigns. He's main event WrestleMania multiple times. He's beaten everyone there is to beat. And yet, when he returns from time off, he still finds ways to create moments that feel fresh, that feel exciting, that feel important. That spear through the barricade isn't just a cool spot. It's a statement. It's storytelling. It's Roman Reigns reminding everyone why he's the tribal chief, why he's the OTC, why he's the guy who moves the needle. Bronson Reed should be commended too. The man has put together an incredible run of dominance. He destroyed Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel so thoroughly that people genuinely wondered if Reigns would be ready for War Games. Reed has been on a path of destruction, taking out everyone in his path, establishing himself as a legitimate monster. And now, he's got Roman Reigns gunning for him with bad intentions. The David versus Goliath story here is flipped because both men are Goliaths. Both men are monsters. And when they collide at War Games, it's going to be explosive. Before I wrap this up, before we close out on what might be the most insane Raw ending in recent memory, I want to ask you one more time to support this channel. If you made it this far, if you're still here with me breaking down every detail of this incredible moment, then you're part of the SLAMZONE family. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications because trust me, you're going to want to be here for the War Games breakdown. You're going to want to be here for every shocking moment, every emotional storyline, every incredible match that WWE delivers. Drop a like on this video. Share it with your wrestling friends because moments like this deserve to be shared, deserve to be celebrated, deserve to be discussed and debated and relived over and over again. Comment below and tell me your predictions. Who's going to win at War Games? Who's going to betray their team? Is Roman Reigns going to be the hero or the villain? Is CM Punk going to trust Reigns or is he going to strike first? What's GUSO's role in all of this? I want to hear your theories, your takes, your passion because that's what makes wrestling so special. We're not just passive viewers. We're active participants in this ongoing story. We're the ones who make the noise. We're the ones who create the energy. We're the ones who keep this industry alive and thriving. As the dust settles in Madison Square Garden, as medical personnel check on the fallen, as police officers probably file reports about the most bizarre night of their careers, as WWE officials try to figure out what just happened and how they're going to handle the fallout, one thing is crystal clear. Survivor Series, War Games is going to be absolutely unmissable. This isn't just another wrestling show. This is the culmination of months of storytelling. This is where scores get settled. This is where legends are made and broken. This is where Roman Reigns, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, the Usos, Brock Lesnar, Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Drew McIntyre, and Logan Paul step inside those two rings surrounded by steel and wage war. The spear through the barricade was just the beginning. What we witnessed at Madison Square Garden was a preview, a taste, an appetizer of the violence and drama that's coming. And if you're not hyped for War Games after seeing Roman Reigns spear Bronson Reed and two police officers through a barricade, then I don't know what to tell you. This is wrestling at its finest. This is why we love this industry. This is why we tune in every week hoping for moments that take our breath away. And Monday Night Raw delivered in the most spectacular, chaotic, unbelievable way possible. Thank you so much for watching SLAMZONE. Thank you for being part of this incredible community. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. Until next time, keep believing in the power of professional wrestling to surprise us, to shock us, and to remind us why we fell in love with this beautiful madness in the first place. This is SLAMZONE, and we'll see you for the next breakdown.